What's going on, folks? It's your man, Russ Mitchell, Homesick Buckeye. We are back at it again, here with another video for you to hopefully educate you, inform you, motivate you, maybe entertain you a little bit. You know, we act a donkey here. We clown it up a little bit. That's how we do things here. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week. Hope your life is good. Are you moving and grooving, steadily improving? Are you striving and thriving? Are you living and giving? Family, that's what we try to do each and every day. Make the world a little bit better place and try to be better versions of ourselves. So, um, if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here a while, that's cool too. You know, we're in the series now, the My Overweight Life series. This is chapter 10 that we're going to do today. As always, hit the like button, subscribe button, share it with your folks if there's anything of value that you find here you think can help somebody. And we're going to pick it up in May of 2023. And if you remember from the last chapter, I had put together the plan, the 90-10 normal plan, and creating a new normal for myself, and making incremental changes over time and fighting these battles. And I've been fighting. I made the boxing analogy. I've been fighting these fights for the past year, and I had one more fight to go to get to ketosis. And I bought my ketone meter, which I have right here, the ketone meter, which would tell me when I was in ketosis. And again, this wasn't something I wanted to do as a fad or as a temporary thing. This was going to be my new normal, my new life, being in ketosis 90% of the time, 329 days a year. And I knew to do that, I had to do it slowly, methodically, so that when I got to ketosis, I'd already fought the battles, and it would be my normal, and I could sustain it for the rest of my life. So we're in May of 2023, and I go to North Carolina for my niece's graduation. And I didn't take my meter with me. You know, I'd been blowing in my meter, but I didn't take it with me. And if you remember from last episode, I bought a scale as well. And it was a scale with a 500-pound limit. And a funny story that this came to me, I forgot about this. About 10 years before, I got strep throat. And of course, we talked about through the series, I hadn't weighed myself in 30 years. But I went to a clinic because I had strep throat and I needed to get some medicine for that. And when I went in, they took my vital signs and there was a scale, and she asked me to get on the scale. And I got on the scale, and it had a 350-pound limit. Now, I knew I was heavier than that because I was 319 pounds, in 1993. But I got on the scale, and of course, it immediately went up. It was an old metal scale with the little metal thing at the end. So the nurse fiddles with the scale a little bit, and she says, I guess the scale only goes up to 350. And I said, yeah, it looks that way. And she said to me, how much do you think you weigh? And I said, 351. And she looked at me and she said, that's a good one. We'll just put that on the page. 351. So she put 351 on the page. But again, I had no idea how much I weighed. So I bought a scale with a 500-pound limit. And we're into, like I said, May. And I've been blowing in my meter. And we're in a week or so before going up to my niece's graduation. And I opened the scale, and I got on the scale, and I looked down, and it said, error. I said, okay. So I got off the scale, got back on it. It said error again. I said, all right. So I got off the scale, and I went online, and I bought another scale that had like a 650-pound limit. And it actually came in the mail before I went to North Carolina, but I didn't open it, and I didn't try to weigh myself. So I go to North Carolina. I don't take my ketone meter with me because I know, I might get in a little trouble up there. I might take a few heavy shots and, a few body blows. And I did pretty good. I had some French fries and a sugary drink while I was up there. But the last couple of days, I was really good. And so I come back home and it's May the 22nd of 2023. And I pull out my meter, and I blow, and I blew a 6 on May the 22nd. I had made it to ketosis. And I was excited and I was happy. And then I looked over and I saw that scale, that scale that I'd bought. I said, all right, let's see what we're working with here. And I pulled the scale out, opened it up, I got on it, and it said 548 pounds. And I'm guessing I weighed more than that before because, I was feeling better, after the year that I've been battling to get into ketosis. And then, of course, by the time I got to ketosis, I probably lost a little bit of weight. So I was 548 pounds. Feel free to gasp in horror. But, funny thing, I've talked in the series about my mind and how my mind works. And, most people, if they got on the scale and saw that number, they would be like, wow, that's a lot. But that's not exactly, it's not what I thought. My thought was, when I looked down at that scale and I got off that scale, I said, I am an incredible human being. I am a bad man. I've been carrying around 2 Cincinnati Bengal linebackers and their dog on my back for I don't know how long. I mean, a lesser man would have cracked under that pressure, but I carry it every single day, up and down the driveway, up and down stairs. I'm incredible. Now, I know that's nuts, but that's honestly what I thought. But I looked at the scale, I thought my thought, and I laughed about that. 2 Cincinnati Bengal linebackers and their dog. I mean, that's funny. But I knew that it was the beginning of a new day. And the story gets a little better because fast forward to the end of the week. I'm in ketosis. I blew a 6 the first day. And then the next day I blew like a 12 or 13. And then Friday somebody came to the house with donuts. Yeah. So I ain't even been ketosis a week. And I have a few donuts. A few like 4 or 5 donuts. But you know what? That was in the afternoon. By the nighttime, I was right back on the program. I just had a steak for dinner. Then, the next week, my family came down. My brother Ron and his wife and the girls. It was like a Thursday or something like that. And now, keep in mind, nobody knew what I was doing. I didn't tell anybody about my struggle over the past year, getting to ketosis, about the changes I was making in my life. I didn't tell a soul. So they didn't know. But, it's Uncle Russ's house, and it's like Disneyland over here. I got a snow cone machine and a popcorn maker, and it's wonderful because, the kids love Uncle Russ, and they're baking cookies. So my whole house smells like the Nestle Toll House. And I had some cookies. So I have been in ketosis for like 2 days and had a little donut crisis. Then I'm in ketosis again for a couple days and I got a cookie crisis. But again, because I had fought these fights for the past year, I was able to get right back on the wagon again. And then comes a trip to Orlando for my Uncle Joe's 90th birthday. Now, I talked to myself through this already. Okay, the whole 90-10 and all this. And Uncle Joe only turns 90 once, and my whole family's going to be there. So I'm thinking, okay, this isn't going to be the greatest, but whatever. So I get down there, and it's a big party. And all my family's there. And it's a family-style Italian restaurant, Maggiano's, if you've ever eaten there. And you don't order your individual food. They bring out like big buckets of food and put it on the table for everybody to dig in. So I'm there, I'm kind of sipping my water, and they got a big bowl of pasta to my left and a big bowl of raviolis to my right. And I'm thinking, I guess I'll have a little bit of the pasta and a little bit of the ravioli. But I turn around and look up, and I see manna from keto heaven. They're bringing a big tray of baked salmon on a bed of rice, and I'm like, hallelujah, saved. And they put it right next to me, and I get a couple big pieces of salmon. Then I look up again, and I see them bringing these slices of steak with mashed potatoes and gravy, and I just grab some steak, and I scrape the potatoes and gravy off, and I'm there lip smacking, baby. I mean, I'm getting it in. Drinking my water and eating my salmon and my steaks, and I'm feeling good about myself. So we go on a little bit longer. I'm hanging out with the family, and they take all that stuff away, and they bring out the desserts. Whew. And they brought out a big tub of tiramisu. Now, I could eat my weight in tiramisu. I mean, it's good, and I like it. Then they bring out a big layer cake, some type of white cake with a cream cheese icing, and they sit it right in front of me. And then they bring out a big tray of like apple pie and ice cream, and it's all sitting right there in front of me. And family, I want you to know, I didn't touch it. I didn't have a single crumb. I sat right there and drank my water like a G. Why? Because I'd been fighting those battles for the whole year. I was tough. I was ready. I'd beaten that stuff already. And that's when I knew that this time was definitely different. And it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be able to be strong and tough in the face of my favorite foods and things. And I sat there and looked at it, and I thought about the plan I put together the year before and how it had all come together. And I was proud of myself. So to end the story, sort of, at the end of the party, the waiters were around there, and I asked them to get some salmon and some steak for me to take back with me. And I told them I wanted salmon and steak only. And they said, okay. And they brought me a bag, and the bag was kind of heavy. And I'm like, oh, this is great. Got some salmon and some steak, man. And I get back to my hotel room, and I open it up, the bag, and they got a nice big to-go box of salmon and a big to-go box of steak, but they put a bunch of potatoes and gravy in there. Oh, family. Mashed potatoes and gravy, that's kryptonite to you, man. And I did eat those potatoes and gravy. I can't lie to you, family. I would like to lie to you. I really want to lie about this thing. I really do. But I can't do it. But that was on June the 12th. And since June the 12th of 2023 up until today, which is the 20th of July, 2023, I have not put one thing past these lips that would even remotely be considered objectionable. And as of the date of this video, I am at 519 pounds, which is down 29 pounds. And, you know, some folks will look at that and say, yeah, but, you know, you still look like the before and after picture. And I know, and you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. You really are. But you're right. You're right. But it's the first time in my life I've ever lost 29 pounds. And I'm going to have a lot more firsts and a lot more breakthroughs. You know, I've never in my life ever bought a smaller size. I've never in my life ever had clothes that I bought fit me more loose than they did months before. And I have a countless other non-scale victories. I'm getting my life back. And that's what it's all about. I don't have any long-term goals. I don't have any plans or thoughts about that. I don't weigh myself every day or even every week. It's not a race. And my goal is to keep the main thing, and that's staying in ketosis. That's blowing in this meter every day and being in ketosis 329 days a year. That's what my goal is. That's what I'm trying to do. If I do that, I'll be all right. I was thinking about this last chapter, and I was going to name it, the final chapter. But then it hit me. This is not the final chapter. This is a beginning. And I don't know, maybe I'll pick the series up later down the road, or maybe not. That's probably enough. And moving forward, I don't know. I've got some thoughts about what to do. Maybe you guys send me some ideas, some things you want to talk about, maybe some questions. Maybe do some live streams. Maybe bring on some of my friends and family and just chop it up. Just be silly, goof around, act a donkey, do what we do. If you got any ideas, I'm going to keep bringing you information, and I'm going to be on here acting stupid like I always do and have been. But as always, I want to leave you with a word of encouragement. I hope you gained something from this series, My Overweight Life. I hope you found something of value in it. I've said it 100 times, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up. If you stop looking, you won't find what you're looking for. Keep fighting, keep working at it. It's not a race. You don't have to look around and see what other people are doing. Do it at your way, at your pace. You can do it. So, keep moving and grooving, steadily improving. Keep striving, keep thriving, living and giving. And as always, I wish you all the best, and I will see you on the next one.